Have we all read Proverbs 31 or should I read it? Because I'm seeing so many people praying to be a Proverbs 31 wife, and I think I may have gone over it once. I don't think I'm quite there yet. I'm gonna get there. Anyways, y'all, so I have been married for, this is going on year 2. We had our 1 year anniversary in May, so that was exciting. Um, and I see so many other sisters. Congratulations, Mazel Tov to a few sisters in Christ who have recently gotten married from what I've seen of their posts as well. But I took some time off. Actually, within that year, I had stopped making videos like a year prior to me even being married because I was just burnt out from work, burnt out from school, burnt out from just everything. My family is never an issue, so I never want to say I'm burnt out from my family. I think I was more touched out because sometimes you never just have that personal time to yourself, and you just get to the point where you just kind of, your body starts to shut down because you have a lot going on. So I had taken that full year off. I had the same job, and sometimes I see people praying to be a Proverbs 31 woman, and I'm just like, please do not run yourself into the ground. The Lord will meet you halfway and continue doing in your life to slowly but surely refine you by that fire to make you a Proverbs 31 woman, but trying to live it and enact it. Do not burn yourself down. Continue to strive towards it, and if that's what the Lord is calling you to do. But it's a lot. Being a wife is a lot. Being a mother is a lot, whether you're partnered or not. Being alive is a lot for a lot of people. But yeah, I just wanted to like sit here and say real talk, y'all. Because my thing is, me and the Lord have never really seen eye to eye as far as marriage is concerned. And I always tell him I'm going to uphold his word no matter what he says, no matter how I feel or anything like that. I always saw myself, because I tried the whole thing. And see, this is night and day. When you try it the Lord's way, you are going to get different results. When you continually try it your way, it is the definition of insanity, which means you just continually keep doing something thinking what you're doing is going to work. It's never going to work if you do it your way. And so that's what I did initially, like in my dating life, because I'm recently 30, so 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I kept trying to do everything my way. In between that time, within the last 5 to 6 years, I was single and celibate and just like, you know what, I've tried it my way. Those first 5 years before that, I was engaged to my high school sweetheart. That did not work because he was a cheater, he was a liar, he was a lot of things. And I didn't come on here to like slander anybody, but it's just what it was. And I wasn't a saint myself. There would be certain things that I would do and that I would say to provoke him because I was angry and sitting in my anger. And I could have left, and I didn't at that time. And then when I finally did leave, I was struggling a lot, mentally, emotionally, with self-esteem. So it just got to the point where I was just like, well, because I wasn't living right. Like, I knew the Lord, but I was not living right. And so, that's what I did. I was just like, well, if he's out here doing all this, why can't I go out here and do all this? And that's what I did. I had boyfriends and they spoiled me, wine, dine, whatever gifts, but you still feel that emptiness and that loneliness because you're not living your life right. Fornication, sex outside of marriage. None of that makes you feel good. None of it makes you feel like you're winning in life. None of it, it's really like society, especially American culture society, where we do these things because we've normalized it within our own immediate culture, or we demonize it but also normalize it. So, oh, that's bad. You shouldn't be sleeping with anybody, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, at the same time. You'll sometimes have relatives or people outside of your friends group or even within your friends group, even at work. Oh, you don't have a boyfriend? Oh, you don't have a girlfriend? Or, I mean, it happens. I mean, everybody slips up. I mean, nobody's living 100% righteous. And it's just like we reiterate that so much to the point to where we normalize it. So I wasn't doing anything outside of the norm, as they say. So it wasn't fulfilling. And there's my one man that I've dated where the Lord hasn't given me a dream like, he's going to hurt you. This one's going to cheat. This one's not going to cheat necessarily, but he has too many people in his ear, and then he's going to break it off with you. Then he's going to circle back to see if you'll forgive him and let him back in. And then another dream he had given my mom, there's another boyfriend was just going to end up like the relationship was going to start sturdy, then it was just going to divulge into abuse, whether it was mental, physical, or emotional. So I broke that off because who was going to deal with all that after I had just been through that initially with my son's father? So that was one of the things. Doing it yourself, you were not going to get godly results. You were going to get, who was that had Ishmael? You're going to get Ishmael results, and it's no shade to Ishmael, but had they just waited, there would not be a massive domino effect of what we see today. So, the Lord is not going to fix your Ishmael. He's not going to let you, how do I say this? He's not going to let you do things the way we have culturally normalized and then bless it. He's not going to bless your nonsense, more or less. So even with jobs, even with personal relationships, there were certain friends that I would have that he would give me dreams about. This one likes to party. This one likes to cause trouble and then run away from it and leave whoever's holding the bag. So you have things like that. The Lord will show you about people, and he wants you to know this is who you're dealing with. This is who you're hanging around. And then a lot of us, he will give us physical signs. Like you'll be with your boyfriend or girlfriend and you start coughing, or you're always sick. They may have a spirit spouse, or you may have a spirit spouse. So now y'all are always under attack. You're having nightmares around this person. Y'all are always arguing. You're always bickering. Nothing ever is right. And the Lord is continually trying to give you those warnings. This is not the right person. They're literally doing things to show you that they hate you. For example, for my ladies out there who've already had children with a lot of these men who are just out here living their life, him disrespecting you, him manipulating you financially or emotionally. He's never honest with you. He likes to gaslight you and keep you just aloof and in confusion. The Lord is not the author of confusion. So even when you're a man, she might start manipulating you. She might be using you just for money. She might be around you because there's a certain need that she has that she's siphoning from you while she's mistreating you. So she may be a cheater. She may be a liar. She may just be not that type of person that you need to be around. And the Lord has more than told you or warned you about them, or they're showing you with their actions that they are not loving you in the way that Christ has said to, or for you to be loved. So people will give you those examples and you can pray about it, but the Lord is telling you to leave that person, or this person was not for you, or you were attracted to this person and then y'all started dating and he was just like, did I tell you to date that person? They were going to hurt you. This is not okay. He will send you those signs, and sometimes he'll have people tell you like, hey, I don't think you and so-and-so are a good match. You know how many people told me that repeatedly, like when I was younger, those 10 years ago, this is not a good dude. You need to get away from this dude. You were too, and I hate to say it, but people would tell me all the time, y'all are a mismatched pair. Just so many things. And his actions backed up those claims. I'm not saying listen to everybody about a particular person, but when this person has a track record and you sit with this person, you get to know them, and the math is mathing as far as what everybody else is saying about this particular person. And because I'm a firm believer, I'm not going to believe a rumor. I'm not going to believe somebody bad mouthing somebody. I'm going to go see what's up with that person unless the Lord tells me, no, they're all correct. You need to leave that person alone. So that's what I did. I was just like, well, I'm not seeing all these characteristics. The minute we started dating, it was snowballing. And I'm talking the first week, arguments, falling out with each other. Just knowing that you have a different moral code than somebody else and you're trying to align y'all's morals, or you're trying to force let's say a circle peg into like a square hole. It's never going to fit. There was just so many things that were going on that it aligned with all the warnings that I had throughout the relationship. The Lord is giving me dreams of us splitting apart. The Lord is giving me dreams of what he was secretly doing behind my back. My body, I don't think I've ever been so sick in a relationship. I don't think I've ever just been in and out of the hospital so much dealing with one person. And even then, like I said, I wasn't a good person because during that relationship, me not being emotionally and mentally mature, I'm doing things that'll piss this person off purposely because I'm upset, I'm mad at what they're doing, and me thinking that I'm just getting my get back, or, well, if I can't correct the behavior, I might as well be a brat to him, instead of just leaving. You know, when you're young, because I met him 17, had a baby at 19, in between that time we had gotten engaged. I'm trying to plan a wedding. and having a baby, and I'm finding nude pictures in his phone. I'm finding text messages. I am getting messages from my girlfriends telling me he's been over here with so and so, or he's texting and calling so and so, and you don't know it. And like I said, this is within the first couple of months, like from day one to those first couple of months to the second year. And this is just me staying in nonsense, asking the Lord, Lord, can you fix him? Lord, can you make him stop doing this? And I'm just like, you don't even know the Lord. And I say that because despite being raised in the church, you get to be a teenager, you get around your friends, you have fear of missing out, which is what FOMO stands for, FOMO, FOMO. So when people say that, they just mean fear of missing out. So you want to have a boyfriend, you want to go to the prom, you want to do all these cute little things. And it's one of the things that, like I said, that's what society has normalized. And of course, at the time, not knowing any better, that's what I went along with. I mean, that's what we do, right? We're teenagers, it's cool to have a boyfriend. You're just graduating. Everybody's asking you, oh, you don't have anybody chasing after you. You can have those things, and we're so used to that instead of waiting and doing it the Lord's way. And I'm not saying everybody is like that, but for what you see out here in general, yeah, you have a lot of people who are like that. So I was just like, okay, the Lord ain't gonna fix this man. And then instead of like fixing fixing the Ishmael mess, the Lord was just like, look at y'all. Y'all are out here, premarital sex. You're stagnant right now in life. You're sickly. And this is really because this is who you're dealing with. All those spirits that were in this particular person, which y'all don't know is if there's a spirit in you and you're not living your life right, and those spirits and those demons, they can see everything in the spirit realm, right? So they know who you are, they know what you are, they know if you're going to choose the Lord, they know if you're going to eventually get your life together, and they will use people, partners, to break you down. And so that was our issue. This single time that I would bring up the Lord or pray or want to do certain things, it's not that he didn't disagree, but you can always tell when there's a spirit in a person who does not like that about you. So they may use things to attack you. Oh, your insecurity. Oh, you don't like your hair, or you don't like the way your teeth are, or you don't like just something that's like you shared intimately with a partner. They will take that and they'll start making little jokes about it, like, oh, I don't really like your hair either, or maybe if you did this, you would be prettier, or maybe if you did that, people would like you. So they started doing things like that. Once you shared like your vulnerabilities with them, they'll start nitpicking at them. Those are spirits within a person. Or you're trying to get a promotion in a job, or you're trying to do better in education. And that was one of the things he would do. Like, oh my God, I was trying to get healthy at one point. He was like, haha, that's what you get. Because I had eaten my sugar had gotten low on me, which is dangerous. And instead of being like, hey, are you okay? Do you need something? He literally laughed and was just like, well, more or less, that's what you get for not eating sugar and all that. And I was just like, A, that's stupid, and then B, that's a blatant comment that somebody does not care about your health and well-being. And it's just like when you're young at the time, people just tell you, oh, they're just, taking jabs at you, or oh, everything's just a joke. Certain things, when people take certain things about you or anything that you're trying to do to better yourself and they make it a joke, those are not jokes. That's them slyly getting at you because they know that they can't level up to you. These are some of the things that that person would do. So it was just like red flags the whole time, and all of that. So this is what happens when we want to, even when you date people and it doesn't end badly, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with you or that person. That's just not the person for you, especially if it's a clean break and nobody's feelings are hurt. I've had a relationship like that before. It just means that they weren't like you. And then you'll start seeing certain things that don't line up morally. Like, I was always vocal. Yeah, I want to get married one day. Was I pushing for it? Not really. I was just like, marriage is cool. And I'd also known people who had been together for like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, literally to the day that they died, who never got married. So it wasn't something that I really was just like, well, we need to go do it when we need to go do it. I know initially when I was with my son's dad, and we had already asked my mom and my father for my hand in marriage. So it was odd to me that somebody could propose to somebody and not actually mean it. And so during that particular time, I was like, you said we were going to get married. I have a ring on my finger. When is our wedding? So I'm trying to plan a wedding in this dead sin with this person who clearly hates me And and it's so crazy because I'm just like, you can definitely tell when people say that person hates you, even though they're your partner, they will do things to show you that, yeah, I actually don't like you, and I'm just here because it's convenient to have a warm body and somebody to tolerate my nonsense. People will break you down like that mentally and emotionally, so it's just something to look out for. But yeah, at that time I was like, sir, who does all of this just to play in somebody's face? So of course, like I said, being angry, and at the time we had finally split. And when I tell you I hadn't been sick, it's like after he left and my body really just got to level out when I wasn't in such a stressful environment, I wasn't as sick. But up until, like I say, the very last time where I fully just stopped dealing with this person, I had been sick. Your body responds, your mind responds. The Lord will continually respond and tell you this ain't your person. So there's some of y'all out there right now who's sitting in the middle of your Ishmael and you're wondering when the Lord's going to fix that person. That person is not for you, and this person is telling you that they aren't for you. The Spirit is telling you that they aren't for you, and you keep trying to make it click. It's not going to click. And then after that, during that time, like I said, during that time, it was a space in between that time. I had bought a Bible around my birthday, and so after buying that Bible and really starting reading the Lord, it was my KJV, the pink one that y'all might see in some of my older videos. It was that one. That's the one that I got as a gift. So I started really knowing the Lord and really feeling convicted. Like, you out here sinning. You're out here, and yet there's people praying over you for your protection, for your peace, and for your everything, and you're out here sinning. And it makes it hard for the Lord to bless you. It makes it hard for him to protect you because you're in alignment with those things you shouldn't be in alignment with. So that means you're serving two masters at that time. Me, I was serving the world and my flesh and wanting to party, wanting to drink, trying to make it work with this person who didn't want to. And when he didn't want to make it work, I was just out here wild, and I was texting different types of dudes. And as the Bible says, do not awaken love or provoke love until it's time. And a lot of time we're not even doing that. We're provoking lust and limerence. So limerence is just you having the emotions of like unrequited love. So you may feel like you're in love with this person, but you're really in lust. So you might want them physically. You might be attracted to them. That's cool. This falls under limerence. You're not really getting that love reciprocated. This person might not even have emotions for you like that, but you're so dead set on this person and these fuzzy feelings that they give you. And love is night and day to limerence. Limerence will have you chasing after people who are like what I was just describing, who do not care about you, but you feel like you need to make this work, or you feel like you need to dumb yourself down, or you need to change your looks, or you need to change your personality. Limerence will have you doing things that are the opposite of what the Lord has. So initially when I did get married, and I'm going to get to that, I'm just doing this little sidetrack so I don't understand what I'm getting at. I told my husband, I don't think I've ever been in love before, so being with you and learning to love is completely different from being in limerence. Limerence is, this is cool. I know this relationship probably won't work out, but I'm just kind of play my cards right. Because I have feelings and I am attracted to this person. But like I said, love is a completely different feeling. You don't necessarily feel that physical attraction all the time. You don't necessarily feel like there's a flame. And I'm going to get to that. But yeah, limerence will have you, it mimics how you should feel when you're in love. But there's really no hard rooting, no hard grounding to it. So like I said, it was just with one boyfriend after another, and it was more or less, I don't really have any hard feelings for them, and I don't want to tell them that I love them, because you know, when you get into a relationship, you have a boyfriend and girlfriend, you're, oh, I love you, and da, da, da. I didn't actually really mean that in my heart, and I didn't really mean it in my mind. It was just something that you see what's going on, and you just repeat it back. It's like a lot of people will be out here, and they know deep down, there's really no solid love for this person. Like, when somebody says, I have love for you, it's kind of like a friendship, how you might give the shirt off of your back to this person. You might do things for this person, whether it's physically, financially, or emotionally. But it's like at the end of the day, you don't see them as like your life partner, but you're okay with being with them if you were just dating when it was not really something serious, or you're just with them because this is who you're with and they're a cool person and life is easy, so why not? That's not love. That's limerence. Not only is it limerence, but it's a few other things too. It's convenience for one, it's laziness for one, because love is actually going to make you work. Love is easy, but it's easy in a different way than just doing something for the sake of it being easy. If I can give y'all an example that, when they say Nepo babies, for example, your parents worked and they built the company from the ground up, and you might grow up, you might have the privileges of going horseback riding or canoeing or expensive cars and clothes. You did not put in the work for that, but you're in love with the type of lifestyle that you have. And instead of figuring out who you are and putting like your foot to pavement to make a name for yourself without using your parents' resources, instead you do what's easy and you just accept whatever your parents give you. That may be a poor example, but that's kind of how I feel like a lot of Hollywood kids are. It's just like you've already grown up in comfort and luxuriness, so go be a model because it's easy and people already know who I am as a parent, so it's just going to be easy for you. I feel like a lot of relationships these days are easy, whether you're a man or a woman. Like, okay, this person doesn't give me as many problems, and the problems that they give me, I can deal with. So I'm just going to stay here in this comfort relationship and not really grow mentally or emotionally because this is easy. Like, that's what that is a lot of the times. And like I said, again, limerence will have you in an unrequited type of situation where you're trying to bend and mold and fold yourself to be this person that this other person that you want to date is describing. Like, oh, I like a guy who has a nerdy personality. So now you as a man, you're finding yourself trying to study on sci-fi and geology. I'm just trying to name random things. Anthropology, all this just other stuff that could be labeled nerdy or whatever, comics, anime even, and you're trying to do all these things that you don't enjoy doing, that you don't really want to do, and you're trying to force yourself into that personality type so this person will not leave you or they'll stay with you. Or you may find yourself throwing away your clothes and you're trying to dress to their aesthetic or the things that they've pointed out on other people that they like, or models, actors that they like, and now you find yourself trying to dress like that to get their approval. Limerence will have you chasing approval and have you chasing just having anybody show you a shroud of emotional acceptance and loving on you physically, maybe. Limerence will have you bending over backwards for people who would not even, as they say, throw a drop of water on you to put you out if you're on fire. So limerence will have you stuck in situations that are just always you trying to appease and please, and you're giving miles and they're only giving an inch, if that. That's the type of situation limerence will have you in. So just to give you that hard example. But anyways, so after that, after running around in one of my last relationships where the Lord told me, hey, this is going to divulge into straight up abuse if you do not leave this man. And he wasn't wrong, because there would be times where me and this person, we would be arguing. And like I said, my thing is the Lord is going to show me, hey, he's not for you. And he showed me that immediately. And I was still like, but Lord, he's always been nice. Like, I just want to see what's up. That was dumb. And so after that, it literally became to the point sometimes me and him would shove each other. I ended up breaking one of his devices. I think it was a phone one time. Like when we were at the grocery store doing something, we were horsing around and it got serious, and I was just like, well, there it is. And when you get to a point where you can hurt people, because I was never like that before, but it seems like when you expect people in this world to just be better or to be good, especially the person that you're dating. So when you have people who you're with who purposely hurt you, they purposely do or say things to wear down your self-esteem, or they do things that make you like mentally question if you're sane. Like, because there are really people out here. It's not necessarily always narcissism. Usually it's some people who really are sociopathic or psychopathic, or they came and they were raised by terrible people, and so they want to be a terrible person just because nobody's really ever had to face consequences in their family. So you have people like that. Then you have people who are just straight up insecure. They know that they're probably not going to really do much in life. So their mission in life is just to be a supreme hater and tear you down any way that they can. See you prosper. They want to tear that down any way that they can. So they're always saying or doing snide things to inconvenience you and all that type of stuff. These are the type of people that I had dated initially, like I said, high school through 22, 23. So I got to the point where I was just like I said, well, they can go out here and do these things. Why can't I? So by the time I get to this relationship where me and him are getting physical with each other, like I said, this is boyfriend number 3, something like that. And when that one day where I actually broke his phone and I felt no remorse for it, I knew I was beyond, as they say, I'm past go. Um, because it came to a point to where I was just like, well, if everybody else is being heartless and emotionless, I can do that too. So why not do it? And so, like I said, I started treating, as they say, you know how a lot of bad dudes treat women where they might dangle money over your head or they might be slick to you, say slick, snide comments. I started being like them. So I was just like, I'm just turning into a nasty person because of how I was treated, but that does not justify me doing this to other people. So when I hit that moment, I literally stopped myself that day and was just like, I can't be that type of person. I was never this type of person. And I should not have allowed, excuse me, I'm a little stuffy. I have my humidifier going, but it's not helping. I should not be that type of person that allows others' actions and what they've done to me turn me into a not so nice person. So I was just like, you know what? This is it. I don't want to be that type of person. I never want to continue a cycle of doing that when I know naturally in me it's not me and it never has been. So I was just like, okay. So ended that. In between that time, there was a lot going on. It was a lot going on. My grandmother had died. I was looking for a job. You know, as some of us, sometimes the Lord will tell you not to work for a while. Oh, excuse me, my nose is always running. So in between that time, I was looking for a job. The Lord was just like, don't work right now. I got something for you, just not right now. We were trying to find another place to live. We had moved to a completely different city. When I say me, it's me, my baby, and like several other family members. And